Jackie has landed. Jackyrom has landed.
Good morning from Grand Case. Opposite you can see Anguilla. It is a beautiful day, another beautiful day in St Martin. Hi everyone, so this is my lovely friend Vicki. I think we've been, I can't remember when we first met. I know it's definitely from All About a Smile, and it was after Irma. What was it, 2017? September. Did we? Now go on, doesn't matter. I can't remember.
It was at your birthday party that you had at Toppers.
Oh, we've got pictures of it as well.
Yeah.
It was a book launch, or I was book signing, and
Well, it was your birthday for sure.
Oh, was it my birthday? Oh, okay.
I think we probably need to get rid of this part.
No, it's fun, it's real.
Okay.
And I'm quite happy with real. So yes, I remember now, Toppers, we've got a picture, somebody took it of us.
Yes.
But that's when we first met.
Yes.
But we became friendly after
Irma.
Yes. So let me explain. We had a terrible, terrible hurricane, and in a little bit, Vicki will tell you her story. So now you spend a fair time in St Martin. When do you arrive normally? How long are you here for?
Well, we arrive in early November, before the weather gets bad in Canada. And we stay pretty close to the end of April. So then we go back home.
And when did you first come to St Martin?
We first came to St. Martin in 2002. It was actually our first trip to the Caribbean.
But you didn't come to Grand Case then, did you?
No. We came to Grand Case in 2006. And
you've been here coming back ever since?
Yes, definitely.
And so when Irma happened, obviously that was September, so why were you here? I never thought of that question. What were you doing here in September?
What happened was our landlord decided at the last minute when we were going home, 2016.
What, in April?
Yes.
Right.
That her property managers wanted the property rented by the year. So we took it by the year. We didn't really want to. So the first year we were okay. Just had a little tropical storm. The second year, which was 2017, was Irma.
Okay, so I've spoken to a lot of people that were here during Irma, and your story is I can't imagine it, and I know this isn't going to be easy to tell everybody what happened, but let's start at the beginning. You knew, I'm guessing you knew the storm was coming. None of us knew, I understand, none of us knew what was ahead.
My daughter was actually here on the Dutch side teaching at a private school over there. So we wouldn't have stayed, except she was here and she was a residence director as well as a teacher, and she had foreign students, and she had suggested that the students be evacuated, but that didn't happen. So she wasn't leaving her students, we weren't leaving her. So unfortunately, both my husband and daughter are geographers, so we did know what was coming. And we knew, as it got closer and closer, it was going to be really, really bad.
And you were right on the beach, in the middle of Grand Case.
Yes, but we didn't end up staying here. We would have been evacuated anyway to just a little bit inland.
Can you just tell me, so what you're saying, you would be evacuated, what was happening? Was it on the radio telling you to get out? I mean, you're building, I'm trying to kind of let people understand what was happening. We all knew a storm was coming. How did you know not to stay in your apartment?
Well, first of all, our landlord suggested that with Louise that the roof came off, so we shouldn't stay. Now the gendarmes came door to door to tell people that they had to leave.
But when they tell you, they knock on the door, you've got to leave, do they tell you where to go?
Yes, they did.
And was it a shelter that they created?
There were shelters created all over French Saint Martin. So in the meantime, we had been asked to come over to the school on the Dutch side.
Right.
Because my husband was a teacher and I was a nurse and our daughter was there. So they thought we could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yes. So we did go over with the possessions that we could take because it was a very small car.
So at this point, are you very matter of fact or are you scared at this point?
I don't think I was scared at that point. You know, the weather was still fine. So, no. I mean, obviously a bit of
Trepidation.
Exactly. They had a residence. So there were beds. And Ashley, our daughter, had a room as the director. And there were quite a few bedrooms because there weren't too many students at the time. There were 4. Oh yes, the winds pick up.
I mean, they were over 200 miles an hour.
Well, I know, sorry, kid. They were 300. They gusted up to 320 kilometers an hour. So I never actually converted it.
Well, no.
I didn't want to.
What was it like being in during the night? Did lights go out and things like that?
Oh yes, we lost power, but not until, you know, the hurricane actually hit. You know, we had the internet for quite a while, and probably about an hour or so before the hurricane actually hit, because they have all these outer rings of the hurricane where the winds are, if the winds are like gusting up to 320, the outside bands, as they call them, are very, very windy. Very. So the wind was howling. There's no doubt about that.
Is it a brick-built building?
Yes.
So that was
Well,
the
it's like
safest place to go.
Yes,
Concrete is
concrete,
it's
yes.
safest place
The
to go.
school was more damaged, but not the exterior.
Once the storms calmed down, what's the first thing you did?
That's a really good. I think we all, the adults, we went outside to kind of look. Like we saw during the hurricane a lot of things going on. You know, palm trees literally flying right by the windows, cars being moved like they were dolls, just picked up and thrown. So yes, we went out to have a look, and there was a significant amount of damage. There was a resort next door. It was called a Summit, completely leveled. All that was left were some bathtubs, and yeah, it was unbelievable. So we had been told that we would be able to get out, I think it was the Friday or Saturday after Irma. And we went to the airport, and we were actually told we were going on an American plane.
When you say you're being told, there's no communication on the
No.
island. Who's telling you this?
This was from the American Medical School. My daughter had gone over there with one of her pregnant teachers, who she was very concerned about. And in the meantime, the doctor looked at my daughter and said, "You're sick." So they sent her upstairs, and they tried 14 times to put an intravenous in. And because, of course, there was no medical care anywhere on the island.
They didn't ask you to do it? Obviously, she's a nurse. At any time did they ask?
No,
Yeah.
no. And I likely wouldn't have
Right.
at that point.
Yeah.
I was retired. So the American doctors gave us a letter saying she had to be medically evacuated. So, and they told us, when you go, you can't.
I need to go over this because you're just telling the story, but just remember she's just been through a hurricane, lost everything. Now the daughter's ill, so it's just you just must have been. How do you take all this in?
Not well. I had quite a few things happen before Irma that were traumatic. So
No, I'll go because I know one of them. So you were on a beach and somebody stole. Was it a necklace they
Oh.
No, you fought him back.
I was.
She fought him on the beach.
I
I'm
was,
not giving it to you. Something like that, wasn't it?
yeah,
So this is all happening at very similar time.
I was
isn't it?
walking down to the beach club, and it was off season, so it was very quiet. And yes, somebody came up behind me because I had my earphones in for like the first time, and he came up behind me, and he was choking me, and I didn't have the opportunity to do any of those things that they tell you to do, eyes, throat, the other. I couldn't, and so he was trying to rip my necklace off, so I wouldn't let him. I mean, I was just holding it, and he was pulling it, and so then he just decided to steal my beach bag. So
And he was on a motorbike, if I remember the story, wasn't he?
afterwards, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I chased him, and unfortunately he had a scooter kind of down the road, so he was able to jump on that. But we should get back to
Yeah, but I just want people to see that so much was happening in your world.
Oh my God, 9 bad things.
Okay, so let's go on to your daughter's been told that she needs to be taken for medical care.
So, and it's chaos. I mean, I think one of the worst parts of the hurricane was afterward, because there were gangs and everything was destroyed.
Looted. Places were being looted
like crazy, and there was no way to get
and people are scared as well. People are scared. They're hungry. Their families. The aftermath is
it was anarchy. There was no government. There was nothing, and people had nothing, and it was terrifying. I think afterwards might have been more terrifying. But so then we went to the airport. You should have seen the airport. Everything was outside, obviously, and they had sections for different reasons. So the Americans had a section. The EU had a section. They had a section for the Dutch population, and then they kind of had others. So we went to where...
Let me just explain that Vicki is a Canadian citizen, that's why.
Yes. So we went up to the front, and there were Dutch soldiers there, and we gave them the letter from the medical school, and they said, well, are you American? And we said, no, we're Canadian. Do you have a visa? We said, no. Canadians,
A visa for where? Here?
the United States. So we said, well, no, we don't have a visa because we don't need one as Canadians to get into the United States. We can't take you. I'm like, what? No, we have our orders from the Americans, American citizens, or American visa holders. So needless to say, we were pretty upset. The soldiers at the gate were very upset because they could see how sick my daughter was. Like, she was like white and sweating, of course, because she ended up having a very serious kidney infection. We had no way of communicating, our phones, we had nothing on them. There was no power, no nothing. So the father of Ashley's international student had happened to be in St. Martin when the hurricane hit. So he was able to get his helicopter over, but obviously he took his son, his wife, and he took the 3 remaining foreign students with him, and they went to St. Kitts. But he did say that if we ran into any trouble, that we could get a hold of him. We would literally ask somebody, give them money, and use their phone, right, and leave a message. But then when he called back, those people had moved way down towards the gate, and so then we had to, of course, find. So it was a process to be in the right place at the right time, because we had to give him the phone number and stuff. So he did say he would send his helicopter back, which sounded great. Unfortunately, his partner had arranged to pick up 2 women in Grand Case at the airport. But they had drifted off, and the pilot waited a very long time for them. So he finally came up to come and get us, because this was, we'd been at the airport since like 7 in the morning, and this was, I think, past 5 o'clock. So we'd been there, and that's...
And is your daughter deteriorating at this time?
Oh yes, she was getting sicker and sicker. I was a nurse, so I knew that was traumatizing. I mean, she needed IV antibiotics, and she needed them, like, this is from, Saturday. She needed them days before.
Yeah.
Days before. But we finally did get to St. Kitts, and she got...
Hold on.
Sorry.
Was it the helicopter that...
Oh, sorry.
Yes. We've heard all about the helicopter.
Yes.
So where did the helicopter come to?
It came, there's a sort of a private section of the airport where helicopters land and private planes kind of...
And
wait.
how many of you get on the helicopter? Just the 3?
Yes, there was just the 3 of us. So off we went. It doesn't take too long, maybe 45 minutes.
So did she get met there by hospital ambulance or anything?
We were able to get her seen immediately.
Thank goodness.
And get her sorted out, which worked out really well, obviously. And then, we stayed in St. Kitts for a while.
With these people?
No, because they already had the 3 international students.
That's right.
From Germany who were staying with them.
So did you have to pay at this point to
Well,
stay somewhere?
That's what's quite interesting. The partner of the international student's father, I guess he went to the Marriott to talk to them and say that he had these Canadians that were stranded and had no place to stay. So the owner there, who was Canadian, basically quoted some exorbitant, I think $900 US a night. So that wasn't suitable. So he went over to the Royal St. Kitts across the road, and we got accommodation there.
Fantastic.
And they took really good care of us, because we were there for like a week until we were able to get out of St. Kitts and get back to Canada.
And how long did it take for your daughter's health to stabilise?
Well, pretty much the week. And
Yeah.
that was most of the reason why we were staying so long. And when we went to check out, we had been charging, dinner sometime. And so, but the bill only had like the restaurant charges. It didn't have any accommodation charges. And we could never find out how they were taken care of. I asked when we were checking out, and I was told they were just taken care of. I asked, I didn't get an answer.
Do you think it was the hotel or the
It might
man
have. It
from
might
Spain?
have been. It
How
might have been.
wonderful. In such a terrible time, just to have
Yeah.
one
Nice
thing happen, easy to relive anything, and I totally understand that. So we're going to go now, and in a bit, we want to kind of show you Grand Case today, because it really has come back. It's taken a while, but it's really come back. And we're going to go for lunch somewhere called the Lolos. Now the Lolos are local people with their barbecue, and they've created this dining experience, and we're going to show you. It's one of my favourite places to go, and you'll see some of the shops. We'll go, you'll see us walking down. So we want to kind of show you how Grand Case was completely destroyed. I mean, there was nothing, it was flattened. And we're going to show you it today. So we'll be back and we'll show you more of Grand Case. So we're going to take a walk now and down through Grand Case, down to the Lolos. And I'm going to take you with me so you'll see some of the shops and the road that leads to Grand Case. It's very sunny today, so my friend Vicki has lent me a hat. I'm not normally one to wear hats, but we're going to try it. It's so warm that I think it's a good idea. This is a kind of a new concept of these little huts. I haven't seen them before, so this is new. There's lovely little stores and a bar. I don't know how many of them are open, but really nice concept. So we have a few shops on the way. Lovely little boutiques that you can pop in, buy some nice stuff. We have a lot of motorbikers here, kids with no helmets, adults with no helmets.
The restaurants.
This is one of the posh restaurants, La Cottage. I went for the first time last year and it was lovely. We'll have a discussion at lunch to see which one we go to. So we have somewhere that hasn't been repaired since the hurricane. What was this?
This was Le Testament.
And a restaurant?
Yes.
From here, this is where Vicki and family were living. It's still exactly the same today, since the day of, and you can see there's nothing there. You wouldn't have survived if you'd stayed. We've arrived at the Lolos. It's going to be noisy. You can see we're right on the waterfront, and you can see so much going on. So we're just going to go, I'm going to follow where it looks like they're not all open, because it is Good Friday. So this one's not open. It's only these ones that are open. But I wanted to just show you some of the food. Lobsters. Menu, and the one that we normally go to is here. It's not open. And you can see we're right on the front, so we'll come back when we've sat down and ordered some food. So we've found a seat, we're sharing the table, and we're just going to order some food, and then I'll come back and show you once we've got some food what we ordered.
This particular Lolo, which is the talk of the town, tends to get a lot of publicity. They do quite well. They're always busy. Sky's the limit is their store that is closed today for Good Friday. And they were actually written up in the Caribbean's journal's best 50 restaurants in the Caribbean as an excellent example of a locally owned I'm
hungry, I'm looking forward to it. So here is Here's my ribs, macaroni and plantain, and I can't wait to eat it. It's very common here to take food home, so this is my to-go box from my lunch. So you can see how busy it is, and we've just spotted La Dolce Vita, which is ice cream. So we're gonna have some ice cream, finish off our lovely lunch. Not sure what I'm gonna have. We're gonna choose. So this is Sexy Fruits, which we hear about a lot on Facebook. They've got some beautiful things here. It would take you a long time to have a look at anything because it's really well stocked. I should take it. Oh. Oh my goodness. Look at those. I want one of those. I'm going to have one. Oh, how cute are they?
Yes, they are.
So there we go. Sexy Fruits. Don't forget to come and have a look. Okay, we're back to where we started. It's really hot today. This is a very special seat. It's where I sit when I'm visiting. And you can see why I love St Martin. Just this view is just so special.
Everything's good.
Yeah, where's my shushu?
Working.
Oh.
Then we have to take
It can be a house.
Vicki, what have you got?
The Caesar salad.
Caesar salad. I've got gravlax and smoked salmon. Ava, what have you got? All looks yummy. Ah, look at my onion soup. Oh wow, that looks amazing.
Thank you very much.
Here we go. So this is posh French toast.
Yes, French toast. It is posh French toast.
But it just looks beautiful.
Fabulous.
Enjoy, ladies. So now we have spent a day and a night in Grand Case. We've seen the lovely beach, all the lovely shops, and we've had lunch at the Lolos. And then our juxtaposition was to have dinner at the Cottage. You'll see some of the pictures, some of the lovely food. There's not one of us that's finished one course. We left. We've got, you can't see, there's a little table with lots of food bags because we've taken lots of food home. It's been lovely, and but I still like eating at the Lolos.